Good morning there, Mr. Kyle. Just getting things fired up over here, hitting some buttons. Don't hesitate to put in a request if that's what you're looking to do.
Breakdown. Breakdown.
I think I'm a little bit under the weather today. Woke up with a sore throat. Can't remember the last time I didn't feel good. And I see your request coming in. Gave you the approval.
Good morning, good morning.
Good
I
morning.
hear you on that, bro. A lot of people around me have been getting sick too. There's something definitely going around.
Yeah, I don't
But,
doubt it. I very
yeah,
rarely do I
sweat like
get sick.
Yeah, I sweat like a dog last night, so I know that I probably had something and I just sweat it out.
Yep. There
My
you go.
immune system is not one to fuck with, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's good to be that way.
Yeah, I was probably one of the last kids raised in the generation where we drank out of the
The
out of the
hose.
faucet.
Oh, the
Out of the
faucet.
hose, yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice hot summer water from the hose.
Oh my God. Especially when you just turn it on and it's been sitting there for 8 hours in
Yeah,
the hot sun baking.
always try to blast your friends with that first batch of hot water coming out.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Run, motherfucker.
Dude, my oldest brother used to have do you remember those water guns called super soakers?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. My brother had that one that was like a fucking cannon
Mm-hmm.
and it shot like I don't even know how this shit was legal, but it shot like a jet stream of water that was like so concentrated it would leave you with bruises.
Get out of here.
I'm not fucking with you. It
Oh,
was a
wow.
massive, like you had to hold it over your shoulder.
I
So
never
that's
s-
what we would do. We would wait for him to have to refill it,
Mm-hmm.
Dodging as much as we could.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as we knew he had to refill, we'd wait for him to go to the faucet and just everyone on the other team would just gang up.
That's funny.
Yeah, good times, good memories.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think my friend's little brothers had super soakers. I grew up with laser tag and what was the other one? I think it was photon or something like that. But like laser guns that you shoot at each other and hit the little target thing, and that shit was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I always found that like when we bought laser guns as kids as like toys from the store,
Mm-hmm.
it was never as fun as like going to like an actual laser tag place and using their equipment. They always seem to have better equipment. I don't know if that was just my mind making it up or if I'm actually remember correctly.
I never actually went to a laser tag facility.
Yeah, it was interesting because I had a crappy little laser gun set and of course it broke within like 2 weeks. You know how those cheap things are, but yeah, well, we used to go to laser tag for a couple birthdays and stuff, and we had like it wasn't just a laser tag place, but they did laser tag there.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those choose your adventure mini park things where you could go mini golfing or do like what were those things called? There was this thing called the slingshot, and it was like you get strapped into like what is basically like how would I describe it? It's basically like you get strapped into you know how you lay on a hang glider?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like that thing, but there was no hang glider above you. You were just strapped to like this platform, and then it would literally slingshot you up into the air, and then you'd go back down. I remember I did not have the balls at the time to do it, and I went back as an adult, and I did it at like a different place, somewhere else. They had the same, entertainment thing or whatever, the same slingshot amusement ride. And I remember doing it as an adult and being like, I am so glad I didn't do this as a kid because I probably would have shit myself.
I can't remember. Did you grow up on the East Coast?
Oh yeah, I'm an East Coast kid for sure.
Okay. Did you ever go to Action Park in New Jersey back in the day?
I did not, but I've seen multiple videos about that
Bro, that
place.
place was bonkers, man. Like, I've seen the videos and they make me laugh my ass off because I straight up was like, I was probably in those damn videos as a kid. Like, we went there every summer, usually a couple of times, and it's everything the videos say. It was pandemonium, dude.
Rusty nails sticking out of the water slide.
You could get so fucked up at Action Park, it wasn't even funny.
That's hilarious. I can now say that I know someone who went to that infamous park.
I never went
Yeah,
on the
there was a
Alpine
bunch of
slide.
injuries reported from that company.
Yeah, they called it the Alpine slide, which was the concrete trough that people went like fucking careening down the mountain. People people were hammered in like flip flops, shorts, and a tank top. Um, the bottom of that freaking slide was stained in blood. Like it was.
Holy shit.
They had an ambulance parked at the bottom because if someone got hurt, they pulled them right out with an ambulance, and then they couldn't run the ride when the ambulance wasn't there. So it was so fucking hilarious. Like the ambulance would take someone away, and then the ride would shut down for a while. Then the ambulance would come back, and then more drunk people would go. And it was like, and then there was also just like a crowd of people that would just hang out at the bottom to watch people wipe out, like just totally eat shit. They come flying down the fucking mountain, and then they would bite it at the tail end on the last turn, and then the sled that they were on, whatever wheelie board thing you want to call it, would like launch out from under them. So then they would just like go skidding bare skinned against the concrete and just be shaving their fucking skin off and getting all fucked up.
Different back in the 80s and 90s, I'll tell you that much.
And then they had like it was like they had different sections. They had like the water slide section. They had there was an area that was like all different water rides, but it was like using like natural spring water. So the water over there was like frigid. And then they had like a motorsports section so that you can get in like fucking go-karts and stuff like that, and like you weren't supposed to smack into each other, but like of course you would, and like try to ram your buddy off the fucking track. They had fucking dude, they had motorboat races. Like it was like I couldn't believe that they're like giving kids the ability to do this stuff. Like, yeah, go fucking rip around an oval track that's water in a little mini motorboat thing. It was fucking nuts. They normally had like 2 or 3 rides at any given time, like shut down for the whole season because like somebody was suing them for injuries. So there was like litigation going on, and there'd always be like new stories. They had a water slide that was like a full blown loop. It was like a tube that made a big loop and then launched you out. And that thing was always shut down. It was rarely open because they would open it and somebody would get fucked up again, and they'd be like, all right, we got to shut it down. But that place was so much fun. I always remember too, because one of the cool things is, I don't know why it was such a big deal, but whenever we would leave Action Park on the way back home, there was a burger joint called Fuddruckers, and we always stopped there to get burgers. We got someone else requesting. Oh, Kyle, looks like you got jammed up. Bringing you back up. You ever been to Fuddruckers? They were damn good burgers.
I think I've been to Fuddruckers maybe once in my life. I think I very well remember it too, because somebody in our party was like desperately ill and running to the bathroom like every 5 seconds.
Oh, damn. Because of the Fuddruckers?
No, I don't think it was because of it. I mean, it definitely didn't help. I can tell you that much. But yeah, I think we went there for like a holiday one year or something. But we didn't have any like where I grew up like we didn't have any like super fancy restaurants or like low end places either. It was very like just middle of the road everywhere, like just boring ass restaurants that everyone has in every state. You know, your classic Applebee's, middle class bullshit. But we did have this one place that eventually got replaced, I believe, by like an Outback Steakhouse or something. But we had this place, and it was based off of like Maine lore, and it was like something moose trap. No,
Moose Knuckles.
no, it wasn't that, unfortunately. But it was a very interesting. They had like the big like draw to the place for the families was the half of like the taxidermy on the wall was animatrons. So like
weird.
you would have like like the big main character was like an animatronic moose that stood in like the center of the fire pit, and then there was a animatronic raccoon coming out of like a barrel. It was like a good place for like families, if you had like a young, you had a young family with a bunch of kids, like somewhere you could go where the kids would be distracted enough to where you could actually eat your meal.
Or if you're hanging out with your friends dropping acid, that would be a cool place too.
Oh, hell yeah. I can see that as an adult. Oh, yeah.
Like, the moose is talking to me, bro.
Yeah, and it was always like, it was never, like, you know how everywhere you go nowadays, the animatronics are basically just an advertising tool? Mm-hmm. Like, this was back before that was kind of recognized as, like, a main, like, way to advertise. So it was, like, mostly just, like, random facts about nature, which I found really interesting at the time.
Didn't Chuck E. Cheese have some sort of animated and fucking shit going on? Automated fucking shit?
Yeah, I think they had like a whole live band in some of them.
Yeah. That's something that's like, I feel like some of them did, some of them didn't.
Yeah, I think I went to Chuck E. Cheese maybe like 3 times over the course of my childhood. Mm-hmm. Most of them were for like birthday parties, for like kids that could like afford it. Our parents were too broke, man. It was like, if you didn't pack your own lunch, good luck, buddy. We'll see you when you get home.
Guess you're not hungry. That's funny.
Good times, good times. Yeah, we didn't have an adventure park, but we had an equivalent. I'll tell you that much. We had an equivalent to that growing up in our state. Mm-hmm. It was right off of Route 1. What was it called? I think it's still maybe up nowadays. It was like a half water park, half amusement park. Mm-hmm. Funtown Splashtown. Yes, okay. That was the name of it. Oh my God. Any of those local like amusement parks, as an adult, I like question why my parents even had the gall to take me there. Like I would never put my child in this situation.
Yeah,
like drunk people driving around taking the governors off of the go-karts and shit.
Yeah,
oh my God.
When we were at Action Park, we learned like the throttle cable on the go-karts, like the governor for the speed was a limit stop that they put the pedal was, so you can only
It's
push
called Class Action Park.
Yeah, exactly. But what we figured out was the cable where it ran along the side of the seat to get back to the carburetor. So you could pin the pedal down, and the thing would only go so fast. But you can just reach down and pull on the cable to get more tension on that, and and you could throttle up that way. It was like turbo boost.
Hey, Eric, did you see? I used to go there as a kid too.
Mhm.
So, did you see the documentary film about it?
I didn't see a documentary film. I've just seen some stuff online where like
You
people
gotta
make
see it,
videos about how fucked up it was.
dude. You have got
Oh,
to
I
see it.
absolutely agree with Dr. Reverend Mooks. I think I know the video you're talking
Like,
about.
let me just tell you, like, we used to go there as kids, and like, it was the most exciting thing
Hmm.
possible. Like, they had commercials that we used to see, and
Hmm.
we were screaming to go.
Oh yeah, there's no
And
place in the world like Action
yeah,
Park where
yeah,
you're in
dude,
the
the
center of the
tanks.
action.
I swear to God, I was there one day when somebody flipped one of those. They used to have those near the go karts across. There was that water with the ring and the like island in the middle, and
Hmm.
it was like. And I was there when somebody literally like took one airborne, flipped upside down, and was like incapacitated in the water with like. But the thing, the other dude, there's so many funny things about that place because it was like you had no idea, like because you everywhere else that you'd been, it was sort of like had some sort of like guardrails, right? It was
Hmm.
like bigger, better backing, funded. Like there, it was like literally an anything goes like keg party going on with the people
Totally.
that were running it.
Hmm.
It was like this. Yeah, you've got to watch the film, Eric. You'll fucking love it, dude. And yeah, I was going to say also like the rope swing at the end, which was like sort of off the end of a cliff. Like above that, they
Hmm.
have the alpine slides with all the pictures of people that got those like fourth and fifth degree burns or whatever, those like horrible skin conditions you can get. But beyond that, there was a Tarzan rope swing,
Hmm.
and you fell down into what was like as cold as water can be without freezing. Basically, it was fun. I mean,
I
it
was just
wasn't.
mentioned that before you came on to Kyle. I was telling him like there was that whole section with the frigid water, like.
Dude, it was unreal because I think I was like 12 years old. I was already like in fear for my life, like,
Hmm.
to even do it. Like I'd never jumped off anything before. And it's like, all right, you're dropping like 30, 40 feet maybe down, like it would just let you go and you couldn't hold on. And then you're dropping into water that's colder you've ever been into in your life. And like you may or may not be able to swim. It just combined like so many hazardous things. It was
Totally.
insane.
One of the funniest things I
Yeah, the
remember.
concept of being cold was like, as a kid, it was like, what are you, a bitch?
But
It's
this
like they
changed
had
your
no
life.
concept of like freezing up or like having some sort of medical emergency due to the temperature of the water.
Dude,
It's like,
everybody
toughen
speaks so
up, pussy.
fondly of Action Park because it literally like turned you into a different person. It transformed who you were
It
because
did.
of the levels of danger.
It did. I remember the cliff dive over near the water
Yeah.
slides.
Oh God. And there were like, it was like you were standing next to this. I remember like random people doing like insane dives off there, like smoking cigarettes, smoking
Hmm.
pot, drinking beer. Like
Hmm.
they sold alcohol there, right?
Yep. Yep.
Fucking nuts, bro.
I remember one time. So over at the cliff dive, they had two. They had like one that was the really tall one. There was one that was like I don't know, like three quarters that height. But then they also had on that same wall, there was like a little water slide that you slid down and then got launched off the cliff. But next to the exit of the slide, where the people slide out and they're in midair, right? There was like an observation area that you could like lean up against the rails and be like right there, so you can watch your friends, take pictures and stuff like that. And I always remember there was this dude John that I knew, and this dude Mike, and John was going down the slide. We're all friends, but we're maniacs, I guess, in hindsight. So I remember as John was coming down the slide, Mike leans over the freaking rail so that soon as John is in the air, Mike just punched him right in the face.
Dude, that was the first place I was where somebody was like, "Yo, go pants dignant," and my buddy ran over, pulled his pants down, like we're waiting online. You know, it's like I know exact spot you're talking about. There were like waterfalls and alcoves built into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
It was so funny because John saw it coming at the last second, and you could see the look on his face. Like there's nothing he could do. Like it's just he's already going down the slide.
I'll tell you what else was dangerous too was that wave pool, and that was amazing at the time because like I've never seen anything like that again ever. Like they had good control over it, and it made waves that took, you know, like adults didn't stand a chance if it broke on you. And in the deep end, it was violent. It was like, you know, 8-foot swells, like one right after another with no stopping. So nobody was accustomed to it. And I think someone died there one day when I was there.
I love the
I was
wave
gonna
pool.
ask, like, did they have enough lifeguards? And then I remembered, oh no, this is Action Park.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as lifeguards.
The question was, did the lifeguards have enough doobies to make it through the shift?
Dude, they were hiding. They weren't even there. Like that's when you watch the documentary, it's like literally like, you know, the father owned it and like his son was like the popular kid, obviously, especially, and he was like a ruffian. So like they were partying like crazy, you know, they were like abusing guests. Everything happened there. So many lawsuits.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, but then I also think like that place must have made bank because it was always so crowded.
They had. Do you remember at the top of the mountain off to the side, they were renting 3-wheel ATVs back in the day?
Yeah. They had Honda Odysseys that they had the racetrack.
Had everything place. They had everything there. That is truly a remarkable spot.
Yeah.
It's just like nuts. I'm so glad you were there.
They were like, how do you want to get fucked? How do you want to hurt yourself today? We got options.
Yeah, we can shoot you in the head with a 90-mile-an-hour tennis ball.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the tennis ball tanks. Those were fun.
Shit. Dude, there was a full donut loop, like a full loop tube. That was never actually open because like every time they opened it, people got stuck in it every time. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, literally, like, here, how do you want to die today? Yeah, future. I mean, thinking about that place is best memories of all time. I think danger adds, right? It adds, like, to the memory of it.
Yeah, you make it out of, if you, like, you make it out of Action Park, like, unscathed, you totally feel like a badass.
Yeah, he felt like he went to war.
Yeah.
He did. Like, because as kids, we didn't know, right? Like, like when looking back on it, I'm like, oh, it would be like, if you went to Great Adventure, like you weren't really putting yourselves in harm's way, like not really in the same manner, right? So it was like exhilarating plus real danger.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, fucking around on the go-karts, I mean, I've seen people like, yeah, whether they got like stacked up on and shit like that, and you know.
Dude, I remember those go-karts, and I swear to God, you and I may have been there the same day as like young, like, because I remember, you know, people talking about the governor switch on those fucking, I'm not making this up. And they were moving like 40, 45 miles an hour. I remember that. Yeah.
Just bouncing into each other.
Dude,
gentlemen.
Yeah, I can't shut up about it.
I've just received an invite to a tattoo festival. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna get some new ink done this winter. Fuck it, why not?
There you go.
Let it heal before summer, you know what I mean? Get that summer dad bod going.
There you go. Hey, baby. Have them tattoo a six-pack on your stomach.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm totally down with it. Get some good shading done.
Tattooed abs.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Actually, it'd just be funny to get a six-pack of beer tattooed on your stomach and then be like, hey, baby, you want to see my six-pack?
Yeah, apparently this place is gonna have people from Ink Master. You know the TV show Ink Masters. Apparently they're
I've
gonna
heard of
have
it.
a couple artists from there as well. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And there's a burlesque show. Oh my.
Oh, that
Oh
figures.
my.
It's a intertwining community. The filthy
I am-
tattooed burlesque chicks. No, I'm just kidding.
You may not be wrong. Let's be honest here.
They're all wannabe strippers, but they're just too scared. Can't commit and go all the way.
Hey, listen, you know, some people have standards, all right?
Yo, I'm gonna post a picture to the loop ride. You gotta look at this.
Oh yeah, throw that in the purple pill, man.
I got
Yeah, this is like it's. I could like we talked about the go-karts, and I swear to you, I can
Smell
literally
the
hear
smoke.
them in my head right now, like exactly like what it was like on that track. Like,
Smell the two-stroke, hell yeah.
Dude, that
Yep.
place was the fucking end. I mean, like you can nothing like that can ever happen again. That was a moment in time. It was like Marlboro was probably like at all-time top sales. I would imagine. It was like
the funniest thing too is like now I'm thinking about it, like if I was back in New York and that place was still open and my kids were the same exact age was when I was going there, if they were like, can you take us to Action Park? I'd be like, are you out of your mind? No, we're not.
Look at that picture. Just look at that picture I posted and tell me your reaction. Like if you were the engineer hired to build it. Take a look at this thing.
Yeah.
Yo, that looks like the beginning of the death coaster that someone designed for suicide.
That was one of 100 options in which you could literally kill yourself at Action Park.
They
That was
actually,
just like,
a lot of people don't know this, but they relocated that slide to Guantanamo Bay, and they would bring the terrorist up top and be like, talk, or we're going to put you down this slide. And they all talked.
Lou Elizondo tells you if you're tall enough to ride the ride or not.
Oh my God.
If you're taller than this fucking midget, you can go on this ride.
This space was worth the price of admission today. Thank you, gentlemen.
No problem, brother.
I wonder if there's any pictures of the blood-stained Alpine slide, because on TV they always made it look like nice, but on like reality when you were there, like it was blood-stained.
When you saw those photos, you were
Human
like,
viscera on the sides of the slide.
I remember
this is gonna
thinking,
go
like,
great.
I really don't want to do this. Like, this is one I mean, it doesn't seem that fun. Like, look at these photos, you know, and it's like, well, how are you going to get down? Well, just go slow. Next thing you know, someone's like fucking ramming into you from behind.
Totally. Yep.
That's how it went.
I never rode the Alpine slide because I didn't want to get all fucking scabbed up.
Dude,
totally.
The entire plastic body pieces were all cracked off and broken at the corners. It was.
Oh my
it was fucking,
God.
I used to love hanging out and just watching people go on the Alpine slide because it was pure carnage. There's got to be. I wonder if there's videos of just people wrecking out on the Alpine slide at Action Park.
You got to see the
there's
movie. It's
gotta
only
be
available on
home
HBO.
videos somewhere.
Yeah, it was like non-stop. Like there was constant carnage. It wasn't even rare.
Yeah, if you were the owner of that action park, I'm sure his excuse was something along those lines. What? This is meant to happen.
People like it. They're lining up.
Look at the line
I
down
just
the
remembered
block.
something else. Remember that in that Tarzan rope swing, there were two tubes that came out from the rocks and threw you out of another ride called the Cannonball, in which you were in a completely black tube. You have no idea what direction you're going to go. Violent turns, fast moving, freezing cold water, and then you come shooting out 20 feet up and drop into that same ice cold Jersey mountain water.
Yep. You used to have to like wrap your hands around, like you'd have to tuck your head inside your arms for that one so that you didn't get your head blasting into all the different fucking blind turns. The doof, 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 doof. And then chucks you out. Yeah, that was, I totally remember that. The freezing cold water. Yep.
I got a picture, these fucking pictures are insane, dude. It looks dangerous.
It's like 100% visibility where I'm at right now. I can see the top of Mount Washington. Shit's beautiful today.
Oh, nice.
This kind of slide would be
Don't get too jealous. It'll be rainy in a week anyways and shit weather. Knowing this place.
It's like 20 degrees today. It's warm out.
This kind of like tubing, like what is that tubing? It's like for like water, like
it's like not PVC. I'm not sure what it is. It's like reverse PVC, where the inside is like the slick outside of a PVC, but the outside is rough and coarse. I can't remember what it's called.
When you think about it from like a logistics standpoint, it's like these things would be hard to move around, but like to build like an exciting ride would be like probably pretty fucking cheap.
Oh, absolutely. And like nowadays, like these parks and stuff are like they go by like strict regulations. Back in the day though, like you guys were saying, they didn't really have those regulations, or like if they did, it wasn't really enforced all that much. But I'm sure nowadays if you went to go build an amusement park,
rugged out, but I bet you the regulations were like the police and firemen were like kids got in for free. And everybody just like went and drank beer and smoked cigarettes, like they're watching people jump off the whatever, and nobody got hurt, and they called it a day.
I'd bet money that like if you were trying to open a park nowadays, that most of the rules and regulations that exist are probably because of lawsuits from Action Park, and they probably like reference it. It's probably like they probably call it like AP 202, like everything's AP, like precedent has already been set. Like AP 202 regulation. You have to have water temperature that doesn't cause the participant to seize up.
No, absolutely. I bet if you went to go look into like starting an amusement park, I guarantee you the very first thing that would turn you off would be the insurance. Like it would be like all of the legalities and the loopholes and shit. Like, oh my god, I cannot imagine trying to start an amusement park nowadays.
Dude, I swear.
Holy shit. Especially with the snowflake generation, right? Like someone would get like a hot coffee and burn their lips and be like, oh, well, I'm suing the entire park now. And they'd get away with it. Like, it's crazy.
I swear the insurance industry was wielded to take away most of the really fun social engagements that we, the people, could do. Okay? Because the powers that be don't like us intermingling, and they planned this for a long time. The insurance industry is why we don't have dance clubs anymore. Right?
And probably like roller rinks and...
Right.
Yeah.
Everything,
no, I know, but like
everything to do with having fun in groups has been insurance destroyed it.
Action Park,
you know what's sad is they think
absolute pinnacle of like the most dangerous like time of that thing, and I bet you that it does coincide with like the maximum number of people that were ever like smoking and like the most drinking. You know what I mean? Just like it's like it had an inflection point like that, like whatever, one of those like 3 or 4 summers where it was just like. And then it like as I like moved into like finishing high school is when they started it with younger kids, where it was like I went to this baseball game and I was like, who's winning? And they're like, nobody. I mean, we don't keep score. And I'm like, what do you mean? And like, we don't. I mean, like, you know, everybody wins. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, right? And it was like everybody had knee pads and elbow and helmets when we were like, dude, playing hockey with no helmet.
Mm-hmm.
So it all feels like it was part of the same like energy level. And yeah, you're right. Insurance is everything about it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and I guess it kind of speaks to why they're pushing everyone in these digital playgrounds, right? Like the digital video game world, as it were. Like, it makes sense to me that they're doing that for kids now because they're like, oh, well, they don't get harmed, physically. It's like, no, they're just getting, preyed on by weirdos and creeps out there. And then on top of that, like, we were talking about this last week, Eric. If you don't have the right skin, right, you're gonna be thrown to the wolves, as it were, like socially. Like, it's just a new. I don't know. They took away the physical aspect, which I think actually like stunts development, in my opinion, right? Like, if you get punched for talking shit, like, you'll be a whole lot apt next time to make sure that you're really gonna back up what you say. You know what I mean?
You have moments too under those conditions where, like, you either do get actually hurt and or you get so scared to the point of, like, whatever it's called, like where you're past fight or flight, like you're actually in very serious harm's way, and then it changes who you are
Totally.
permanently. It permanently changes you. So, like, kids, yeah, they don't get that experience, or if they get it later in life, maybe it has a different type of impact, but it's interesting to think about.
I would definitely say that Action Park was a full-blown rite of passage in my youth. Like, and you could see, like, you could bring people that were never there before, if you've been there 3 or 4 times, like, you could watch someone, like simultaneously be like, wow, this looks cool and scary as fuck. Like, you could see it.
If you think back about it, like, I remember specifically, like, my friend's mother was going to drive us to Action Park, and it was like the whole way there. We had been there a few times, like you're saying. And so it was like, we couldn't shut up about, like, what we wanted to, like, do and check out. But it's like the excitement of it was real. Like, it was legitimate. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go ride this, like, new roller coaster. It was like, dude, we're taking our lives into our own hands. I'm going to go, like, shoot tennis balls at people. I forget what else was down there. There were some other dangerous things. The go-karts, the boats, the tanks. And one other ride that was always closed, must have been really dangerous, but it was like, the excitement of going there was legitimate. It was different than, like, now, if you're like, oh, you're going to the playground, like, well, you're not going to be shooting out of a fucking 30-foot cannon into a ice cold river.
Well, yeah. Well, some 15-year-old kid smoking weed is supposed to be, there to protect you.
Dude,
I wonder if they even
yeah,
had a limit. Like, they couldn't. There's no way that they could have had a limit on beers. Like, because how would they even track it?
No.
You know?
This is like 7th inning stretch days when they stopped selling beer or whatever. That was like 25 years later. But, like, looking at even just, like, the platform where you walked and, like, the construction of, like, look, I'm going to post another photo there. Like, just look at the level of the, just even where you walked and stood or, like, launched from the rides. It's like rickety boards and fucking,
Oh yeah, it was just slapped together. Like, I'm looking at these pictures now. It's cracking me up.
Dude, these are the best.
Like, I feel like back in the day, like, I thought there was more to it, like that it was more substantial and professional. But now looking at it in hindsight, like, and having gone through a career in the trades, I'm like, oh my God.
The best, my favorite ride there was the one where you were, like, in a
the multi-person tube.
Yeah, and, like, that one actually was, like, nerfed up. Like, they had that was the newest, like, attraction in it, and you were on it for, like, 10 minutes or more probably.
Yep.
And you could, like, get out and get back in and get sucked into, like, a vortex that was, like, helping push the ride along. Dangerous too, but it was less so. And it was like that one I remember being.
Was that called Splash Mountain?
Yeah. And you would walk, dude, and you would walk up, like, you were walking up a mountain essentially to get to the top of it. And I remember those stairs and, like, the line being the whole way down and waiting on that line to get up there. And that thing was so much fun. It was because
you had to carry your own tube up for one of them, didn't you?
Yeah, you carried your own tubes in a lot of them. Not that one. That one, they had a brand new conveyor belt that used to
Okay.
ship them there.
Okay, the bigger one. Yeah, that's right. The multi one did
So
had you loaded it up, and then the other one you carried your individual tube up. You walked up top, and you can pick. Do you want to go down the left side or the right side? There's two different options.
What a play! What an incredible dude! I am so glad that you went there. I can't even.
so
How many times do you
apparently
think you went?
from the
I couldn't even
reading I'm
count.
doing, it says that the one that you show with the two slides going into that river,
Mhm.
apparently that is an actual mountain like stream. So it is
Yeah,
like literally freezing water.
dude, that's what I'm saying. The first time that I went in there in my life, I remember it because it changed who I was. Like
Yes.
you're falling out of the thing, you feel like you got punched in the stomach and you can't like maybe can't breathe. You're flying out, and then after all that, you're deeper in water than I'd ever been. Right now, I can swim and fight. Like now, it's nothing. But like as a kid, I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm so far underwater right now, and it's freezing. You know, you lose your mind on that ride. You come out of it like you. I remember struggling to get to the side, and it was like the coldest water I'd ever felt.
It's
The
the it's
Changed Man, written by Dr. Reverend Mooks about
Dude,
his adventures at Adventure Park.
like I said, it's a legitimate river. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where are you going to experience that at any park? Never. I bet you none. Maybe in other countries, yes.
Yeah, we had our equivalent of Adventure Park. I'll see if I can find some photos of it and ship it into the Purple Pill. But my grandmother was actually the one who would take us to some of the sketchiest shit ever. And I would just be like it was already amongst all of us. We already knew. Don't tell mom and dad where we're going. We used to my grandmother had this one hidden gem that she found among the mountains here in the Northeast, and we went there, and it was an actual river like Adventure Park, but there was no Adventure Park. It was actual nature, right? But the water was so cold that, like you said, like multiple people had like been known to just freeze up, not move, like completely seize up. And but people would still go there because it was fun, because it had like a nice like 10-foot cliff to like jump off of. So it wasn't too big, it didn't scare too many people, but it wasn't it wasn't too small and boring for the older generation. You could still do gainers off of it and shit, so it was fun enough. But yeah, I just remember that water. Yeah, I can imagine going down that slide into that type of almost Arctic frost water and just like not even being able to breathe. Just there's a shutdown of the
Warren,
entire limbic system.
I
the
feel
name
like
of that ride was the Colorado River Ride. The other one you mentioned
there
was
you go.
from Great Adventure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Colorado River. I still feel like the first time that I did the cannonball, that because the first time you don't know about the water temperature. I swear I think I remember screaming underwater because I was in
Yeah,
such
that's
shock
that's
that like I like you said, you plunge in, you drop down, but I remember I think I was screaming under the water. It was so I was like,
feel
ah, I
the
was in
same.
shock.
I feel the same way. I feel like my head was like screaming inside, like it hurt all over. I'm so glad you have that you rode that, dude, because that's I don't know, we should have like badges for having survived that situation in a way.
Yeah,
Action Park, like
this is part of what made me the person that I am. This is why I don't take shit from people. I'm gonna look like a lunatic when people like give me crap. I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I went to Action Park. You can go fuck yourself. Not scared of.
dude, it's so true though. It is really, yeah, man. Good
Been through
talking to you guys.
been through the gauntlet. Yeah, Great Adventure was like Sissyville compared to Action Park.
I remember there was the McDonald's that was like the first place that I ever drank a soda in my life. Was like my mom was like, that's where you learn to use a straw, and I'm like, really? And they put in a playground, like one of the early ones,
Mhm.
and it had a merry-go-round, but not a merry-go-round, like
It's a spinny
a
thing.
turn. Yeah, and it was like the bearings in that thing, and it was very, very heavy. The whole entire platform was that steel with the diamond shapes on it
Oh
for
yeah, yeah.
traction.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, I mean, even then when I was a kid, like we started spinning that thing and it would not slow down, and it would have like these big bars
Yep.
that you held onto and you could hold out to, like, like older kids were like it was like, but like physically
Mhm.
it was totally inappropriate for the space. Like kids were, if that thing swung around, hit you in the head, you were going to you would crack your skull open. And I remember like, getting thrown out of there, or my brother was doing that, swinging it as hard as you could.
Mhm.
And the thing was really, really dangerous. And people were smoking in that room too, back at that time.
Oh yeah, I remember when you could smoke in McDonald's and
Okay.
stuff.
They had ashtrays.
Yep.
So I've just done a cursory Google search of Funtown Splash Town, USA, and you cannot find any of the old articles about. There was this ride they had called Dragon's Descent, and it was just. I'll actually post the picture here for you guys. Somebody died on this ride. I remember because I was in middle school. It went like viral in like the local community, and somebody fell off the ride, and they had to shut it down and all this stuff. But all of the like you cannot find an account of that on the internet anymore. It just doesn't pop up.
Oh,
This says
nice.
that between 1978 and 96, 6 people died at Action Park, including
That's it?
including drowning. I know. Drownings and electrocution.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, remember the electrocution ride? No, I'm just kidding.
Remember the electric chair?
That was the coolest ride ever.
I would think it was a much higher number. This says at least 6 people are known to have died. I would bet you it's like 50.
There's probably like 100 people that died from their injuries when they got home, like later on, like the concussion that
Yeah.
they got at the park, and they just didn't wake
They're
up
like,
the
he
next
didn't
day.
die on the property, so
Yeah,
that's
like you can't pin that one on us. He died in his bed at home 6 hours later.
Okay, so Googling the attraction park, the theme park, the founder of it died at age 80 from a brief illness. He died in Florida. Of course, he's a snowbird. Fucking A. They don't tell you what the illness is. Interesting. There's all kinds of interesting shit. This is. We should do this. We should look into all of these old parks.
This
See who's still alive, who has stories.
the image that you're showing reminded me, Kyle. There was a slide at Action Park that was a full blown straight down drop, and I think other parks have
Yeah,
those
the
now.
kamikaze.
Yeah, Action Park was the first place that I know of that had that, and that one I did eventually do it, but I think I went there a bunch of times as a littler kid where I was way too fucking scared to do that one, but eventually I did like work my way up to that one.
That's the one where you, like, when you're in the middle of it, your body is separated from the
Yes.
water, like, you come
Yep.
out,
Yeah.
and then you feel like dude, there's another thing here. It says there was an Action Park Gladiator Challenge where the employees would compete against guests and jousting. I mean, I didn't see this though. The matches could lead to real violence. On one occasion, a guest who felt the gladiator he contended against been too rough, striking frequently in the head, led to a massive brawl at Action Park.
Oh.
Several dozen people.
That sounds par for the course.
Okay, I found the sketchiest actual ride there, in my opinion. It was called like Mousetrap or something. I just posted it in the comments. You would sit in these like little cart things, and it was like kind of a roller coaster, but the turns were so tight and so hard. You would literally get bruises on your like on your on your stomach area because like you would just
The
get
bar.
railed into the side of the cart. Oh my god, there were so many good ones.
Oh yeah, I see. That's just looks like a freaking looks like scaffolding.
Dude, it's so bad. I don't know how this place ran for as long as it did.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a. It
Get
looks like a freaking.
decapitated on one of these rides if you're too tall.
It looks like a portable carny ride, like not even something you'd see like.
Dude, it's so bad. There were so many. Oh my gosh, we need to do this. We need to do this someday. Is actually just straight up look into this. Start posting all of the old action park rides, all of the deaths associated with all these old parks.
I'm actually really interested. I would love to see like legit home video stuff of Action Park back in the day.
Dude, I'm going to post you a clip because the documentary is on HBO. I'm not paying for it. I watched it years ago, but it is, dude, you will love it having been there. Like, but there's a few clips here. I'm going to post one down. There's a 20-minute one.
1978.
I'm sure it sounds like the narration of this is going to be bad, but it's got a lot of video in it.
Yeah, like I want to see like like don't get me wrong. I thank you for doing what you're doing, but I don't want to see like the commercials for Action Park made it look like fun and safe and perfect and awesome, but like that's not an actual representation of what was going on there. Like I want to see like just like regular folks. Like I could if there was
Dude,
if they had parked the camera at the bottom of the Alpine slide and made like a live stream. Like imagine if Action Park was still open and they just had like live stream cameras. I would sit at home and watch that all day long.
Me too.
So,
I'd have that on.
We should do a like America's Funniest Videos. Do you remember that show AFD back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Someone should do that exactly like you're saying, but for home videos specifically from old sketchy theme parks or like carnivals. Oh my god.
I'm literally building a snow luge in my yard, and I would say it has everything to do with how I was raised going to Action Park. I'm like, oh, I can build this. I mean, what are the odds of me fucking killing myself? I'm 50 years old. Of course I should build my own fucking ice luge.
How many feet? Like,
This is
how
what
long
happens when Eric goes unemployed for too long, guys. I just want you to know this.
I start building my own Action Park.
Eric, you're in Alaska, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, what do sort of part? Like, what's it like where you are? I'm not trying to dox you. I'm just genuinely
It's all
curious.
good. People can come to my house and try to shoot me. I'll win.
The first ride so far.
But is it just like, are you close to a town or city? Or
I'm in Anchorage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in the big city of Alaska.
What do you think of those guys? Like, I remember I used to watch that show where they were looking for gold in some of the water hanging around. Like,
All those shows are fucking manufactured bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
They can't really find that, right? Like,
yeah.
gold that way.
You could find.
It's
I
just
mean, don't get me wrong.
reality
Like
TV,
you
right?
could. It's totally
Everything's played up to
scripted.
1,000.
Yeah, it's all scripted. Like, don't get me wrong. Alaska's really cool. Yes, you can go find gold, and there are people doing that stuff by definition, so to say, right? But the shows are just completely fake. Like they're producing a fucking show.
What parts are not fake though is like, well, I remember one guy who was like a little more industrious looking and more like built for it than like. There's like one kid who was like miserable and rightfully so. Like lived in a shack, had like was like operating bare bones, and I know parts of that were scripted, but like there was another guy. And he would get down on the bottom of whatever that body of water is with like basically a giant like underwater vacuum and sieve it through like all. I mean, like that dude. That you literally cannot get any more dangerous than that. And like, I mean, it's pretty fucking. That part of it is not scriptable in terms of like.
Oh well, that's what I'm saying. It's a real like job. Like yes, but I'm just saying that like the shows. Yes, certainly a guy's got to go down there, and that's dangerous, and that's real. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to what you're watching, like, it's all fabricated.
Yeah,
I mean,
the drama.
so even when you say like, there's a dude that was,
like,
living out in the shack, that doesn't mean he was living in the shack. They could have had a fucking. They could have had a fucking a rock and roll tour bus van right next to the shack off camera that the guy's living in while they're filming the show.
It's like that family that they have a whole entire show about, where it's like some big family up in Alaska, and they're like building a house that you find out later they were staying in a hotel.
Right.
Like, but you know, it combines enough of like the interesting storyline to like and some like crazy pursuit, right, to stay entertaining. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. You know what it makes me realize? Like, we need to get rid of the TLC-ifying of the culture, right? Like, there's this idea of like you take people's real lives and you play them up for television. It's like, I don't know, like, why that is still.
but I'll tell you why.
Gangbuster numbers, but like,
No,
it's,
but
to me, it's like it's kind of a form of exploitation in a way of like the people, right? Especially if they don't know what they're worth, right? Like their story could be worth billions, and then they just get paid, you know, 50,000 an episode or something. Like, it's a bit odd the way the entertainment industry works.
Do you know the guy Glenn Villanueva, though? He's like a true savage, like totally out in the fucking wilderness, like literally, like does all those things, films himself. Like you watch that stuff and it's like, you know, there's nothing to hide. He's like completely like, and I don't watch that stuff where he's like catching an elk, like taking it apart, piecing it out, just like eating you know, he's like a savage. And it's like, well, people don't want that. That's why it has to be the other. It's too brutal.
I don't know, because like like you think about like for example, like My 600-Pound Life or something, right? Like that was a perfect example of like an exploitation show, right? Like these people were people that actually did desperately need help, and then like their story, you know, they might blow up and get famous off of it, right, or something like that. But like for the most part, a lot of these people you see are obviously dead because of their disease. A, but B, like they disappear off the map if they do live, you know, if they drop all the weight and they get healthy again, right? Like you never really hear about them again. They don't follow them 10, 15 years into the future, you know what I mean? It's a bit odd the way that the entertainment's set up in that particular version of television, right? That reality TV, which is kind of a misnomer in itself, right? Because it's not the reality. The reality is like what these people wake up to every day, you know, the struggles they go through. So it's interesting, though. You can't, like, you know, like you're saying, you can't, like, make that into an interesting piece of entertainment as much as, like, you can just exploit parts of their, I guess you would call it their narrative, right? Their narrative, and then turn it to whatever you want, you know? Turn it into whatever storyline you want. That'll sell out a season.
Yeah, I mean, I
never watched that 600-pound nothing. Oh God, yeah, there's some horrible television shows. That's got to be one of them. The Hoarders had to shut that off immediately. Yeah, they took advantage of everybody they could.
I was in one of these Alaskan shows. It was the Alaska Triangle. It was season 2, episode 9, and it was total bullshit. They sent me out to look for USOs. You know, of course, it's, you know, it's like a fishing expedition, right? You look here, you look there, you look here, you look there, until finally you find something. But we recorded everything, including when we found something. Everybody on production was like, "Yay, mission accomplished! We got, you know, yay!" But then when the TV show hit air, they edited out the finding something part. So it's just a whole bunch of me being like, "Can't find anything here. Can't find anything here." So it's, I mean, think about that. Like, why would they even send me out there to find something, to have me find something, and then edit out that part? Like, what the fuck?
I've heard the same thing from, you know, people that I respect also who have been anywhere near any type of those reality shows, from restaurant to like they all say this the same thing. So I know it's true. I'm looking at that episode, Mysteries of the Ketchikan. But dude, the Venezuela, and I can't really stick around for that long, but I'm sure that you're seeing some people talking about directed, and I don't know if did you see that video, Eric, of the like what the soldiers' reaction were within Venezuela, where they're like they just had to like put their weapons down.
The sonic weapons.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I keep trying to tell folks, nobody wants to listen.
No, I mean, I already listened and I know. And like when I hear that like thing, there's a video where it's like they're speaking through what is it, the electrons? Like what is it that like I mean you don't have to know or maybe you don't, but like I should find a video where it's like they're basically like speaking into your skull and it sounds weird.
Technology, yeah.
But it sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's only the sad part is when you realize that's only like the top of the barrel. That's not what's being hidden behind closed doors. There's all kinds of actual mind control programs going on. But yeah, no, 100% the narratives around this shit is crazy. They've got this shit all twisted and fucked up. And the general public like doesn't really I don't know what the word is. Like they don't
They're
even
not open to knowing yet.
Yeah, their mind is like not even focused on that in the first place. They're just focused on survival at this point. It sounds like to me that most of the world is focused on survival, right?
Listen,
and the ones who aren't are just taking advantage of all those people.
If you have friends, right? Like when you first learn about anything like what we're talking about here, and you bring that up to like somebody who's not, you know, like diving in to learn or believing like or like you also can't talk about that stuff to friends, like, you know, unless it's people have a way of, you know, there's a reaction that you experience if you've done it, right? When you bring up a topic that is, I don't even know how to define it. It's something you believe that they just like haven't ever maybe entertained or just not willing to entertain. It's like you know what I'm talking about? Like they go silent.
Yes,
like
it's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
basically it's too much for them to wrap their brain around. They'll change the subject. They'll get angry that you brought, like there's all kinds of different responses. But effectively, yeah, it's just people have an inability to engage certain topics.
Like, so I was trying to talk to a musician friend of mine about cymatics, and he's a fucking genius, like this guy. And I'm not saying I am. I was just reading about cymatics, but this guy happens to be like a top level, like engineer and coder and all kinds of, but you know, when I brought it up to him, he was like, I mean, I don't really believe in any of that kind of garbage. I was like, no way, really? Like, I mean, you know, this is a guy that has like things around him and art around him that I would think is like more learned on these topics. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with cymatics and like what, like the how different frequencies generate, you know, real patterns in water and in other medium, like when they're, I mean, I'm sure you guys do know, right? But I tried to bring that up to someone who I thought could like handle it. And it was like, they didn't want to talk about it at all. I'm like, wait, I find this to be the most like fascinating thing of all time. Like, it could be what's behind like the origin of life. When you look at it, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? This thing has got a mind of its own. And like imprinted patterns, you know, this could be the beginning of like how language was originally formulated. If you're like different frequencies generate these different patterns, sounds, and character. I don't know. And then you know you talk about that.
Brother, Faso Latido. To add on to what you're saying, with the cymatics thing, right? Like, the patterns in the water, right? It ties into that whole idea of the toroidal fields and the like. You have this interesting overlap, like you're saying, of symbolism, like sigils almost. I don't want to say symbolism because symbolism isn't the right word. I'll just use the word sigils, like these reoccurring patterns that exist according to each frequency, right? And I think when you start to look into that a little bit more, you also start to see why the topic is being obfuscated in the first place, because I think it has something to do with a larger body of knowledge, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, I agree with you, but I mean, like I suspect that too. When you look at like some of these like old, really, really old like churches, and you see the circular window in the front, and it's just this like incredible pattern, then you can compare that to certain cymatics that form, and it's like they really look the same. Like I'm going to paste a pattern of something here. I've been trying to find a better source for these, which is like I want to see how these frequencies correspond to these individual patterns, but it's
So like a perfect example would be the pyramid shape, right? Or the triangle, if we're looking at it in 2D space, I believe, right? It's 2D when it's a triangle, correct?
well, I don't know what you mean.
So a triangle turns into a pyramid when added into third dimensional space. So what I'm saying is like I'll post a picture actually I took over vacation, interestingly enough, at a church we went to, and you'll see the same triangle pattern that I'm referring to. Here we go.
I
Yeah,
listened
it's
to a
in the
guy, I can't remember who it was, but he was on a podcast where he was saying that he would been inside one of these cathedrals, like one of the really old ones, and said, you know, like with like focused meditation, that in that space that somehow something happened where he like was completely transformed through that, through thought and the frequency of the space itself. And I'm like, I think I want to go check some of these places out, and there aren't many of them, but yeah, there's definitely something missing.
Yeah, like so what I was kind of trying to bring up is like the triangle or the pyramid would be one example of like a sigil, right? Or another sigil would be like the eye, or another sigil would be the cross, or another sigil would be the pentagram, another sigil, right? So you have these sigils that carry deep meaning in them. Like, and I think that is why, again, this is being suppressed knowledge, because
Yeah, because it's more than deep meaning. It's actual
yeah.
like it's actually like patterns that are built into it at a certain frequency. So it's like I would imagine that people
So a
had,
perfect example would be like giving the kid the volume knob, right? Like you don't want to give your 3-year-old the remote control to the TV, because he'll go to some random channel, or he might buy something by accident, or he might turn up the volume all the way, right? Like, so I think that is why this knowledge is being suppressed. At least that's the thinking behind the individual suppressing it.
I mean, I think
And if
it's
it's
more
not, they're
to do
just
with
being
health.
used. You know what I mean?
I
And
think it's more to do with the health of people and a power play from religious institutions that started a very, very long time ago.
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that you could say it's religious only, or you could say that there's a especially with these contractors, we talk about the directed energy weapons, right? Like there's money to be made, and money is, we all know money is the love of money is the root of all evil. A frequently misquoted saying. A lot of people say money is the root of all evil, when money is just a tool like anything else. But yeah, I think this goes and ties back into like all of these head honchos, these people sitting at these smoky backdoor meetings, right? They're no longer smoky backdoor meetings at this point. It's a very, the world is stratifying due to the internet, which is a difficult thing to try and wrap one's head around in the first place. But you see this, right? You see this intentional, like, we don't want people to know or have access to this body of knowledge, because they could go anywhere in this body of knowledge, and they could go down a dark path that could set humanity down a dark path. And they're thinking about timelines and like different possibilities and probabilities, and they're trying to make a Palantir crystal ball if they haven't already done it. And I really do believe that's what's going on.
Eric, what does a breakaway civilization look like in your mind?
Just basically folks that have the more advanced tech and monopolize it.
Okay, so it's not like a group of people like living in a different time. Then, like that's what I always think of. I'm like,
it doesn't need to be that, so to say. Like, I mean, it's just technological disparity.
Yeah, and who's to say, right? Like, if we're really going full sci-fi here, Dr. Reverend Mooks, yes, they could be from another timeline, but the point is they're operating in um, our time bubbles, if that makes sense, due to
so let me
things
ask
like
you
the
then.
internet. So I
So
think
is it
this is what
somebody
we're
like
seeing. We're seeing a crash between the ones trying to cover the knowledge up and the ones who are like turning to, oh, maybe we should open this knowledge up for more people, and the ones who have always been on the side of this needs to be public full knowledge for the rest of humanity to grow and evolve, right? And so you have this bifurcation, this split between the two worlds, and um, this has all been done on purpose, I believe. Personally, it's been a on purpose.
Yeah, but I agree, and I'm asking
detonation. Yeah.
but I'm asking what it looks like from this type of perspective, where it's like, okay, this Joe Blow has got um his own rocket ship or spaceship, right? Or is it like he's got a house in the Caribbean that has its own power source? Like, is it what does it look like? Is what I'm asking. You have
I think it's a bit of everything. Not to sound too like, what do you want to call it, defensive or anything. Just I think it's literally there's like portions of people who use all of that, right? There's like, you have the obvious bad actors, sex traffickers, warmongers, warlords, like despots, and then you have like the in-betweens, like the bureaucracy, as it were, like the people who want to just keep
but
life going down the path it's going. And then you have the people who are like in full revolt.
Well, I mean, according to Gary McKinnon, the United States has a fleet of off-world ships.
Yeah, and Mike Herrera, right? Do you find him to be credible, Eric?
I find his original testimony to be his experience. Unfortunately, Jake Barber intertwined a whole bunch of Jake Barber bullshit and got his hooks into Herrera for a period of time. So
I agree. I saw that.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what happens in the community, is that there are factions trying to control the narrative. So, I mean, it's,
I think for me, that's the one that sticks out as actually the most, where I feel like I just, I learned a lot of stuff from listening to both those people that I didn't know. I didn't realize at first. Then I realized Jake Barber was like everything he was saying was a lie, and in his story didn't add up. But like Herrera's thing struck me as legitimate. And I haven't listened to everything he said, but like when he breaks down the story, and then he did a follow-up podcast in which he was like talking about the ship and the personnel around it. And it was like, well, is that like a TR-3B that he's describing, or something really similar? Like, and it's kind of like that. And then what you're saying about Barber is like really what fills in the whole thing about how misinformation takes over, right? You dilute and obfuscate like the facts by attaching yourself to a similar story, right? So it's kind of like you're running with the plot, but you're not. And I feel like Elizondo is like the main player in that, with his own whatever. But like, it's but it makes me just wonder about like, well, if there is a breakaway, which I have no doubt believing, it's like, I want to know like what type of tech they're using. Is it like walking through stargates to go eat filet mignon, like, and then be home in time for, you know what I mean? Like, what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I try to focus the conversation on actionable intelligence, referenceable tech that's been invested in for decades, versus all the unsubstantiated speculations that are being forced upon the audience, so to say, by the factions that are, applying perception management and narrative control. They want
Yeah,
they
and
want
I
to
think,
keep
like,
bringing
and
up
my
the
question,
sensational stuff versus referenceable stuff.
totally.
Yeah, so I put in the nest. Jason Sands had, you know, made a comment about Gary McKinnon's files. So, I set him straight on exactly what all that is. It's on a Goddard server. It's not from the classified network at all.
I found Jason Sands to be the hardest one to believe of all those people. For it, just the story seemed like a comic book. Do you find him to be credible?
Nope.
Okay, good. I'm like,
That's why I told, I had to refute it and tell the truth about what that actually is.
I'm going to take a look.
Because I've hacked that place a lot. I even knew the head of security for the computer network there. His name was Ken.
What's good, Bargeezy?
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
Nothing much, man. We're chilling, we're vibing. I'm probably gonna leave here in a couple minutes. I got some shit to do before I gotta dip off to the old slave mines again. So
Nice. Chip away.
chipperoo, chip chimmery.
Oh, there's a blast from the past. Chitty chitty bang bang.
Only the classics on this side, baby.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about breakaway civilizations and stuff like that, to me it's just it's almost damn near anything you could imagine is probably going on. Someone's probably doing it somewhere. We can't let the limits of our imagination be the boundaries of possibility, because that's it's like the Truman Show. That's all. We're told that this is the way things are, and most of us function in that environment. But then there's the folks that manufactured that environment but don't have to suffer under it.
If they give us the Star Trek replicator thing, then we won't complain. It'll be like, okay, you could just have this little like microwave box door, and you tell it what you want, open it up, and it's in there.
Yeah, but then people are gonna jailbreak them, and they're gonna start building their own Omnitrixes.
You don't have to jailbreak it. It makes whatever you want.
Well, no, I mean they would start doing and building things that are no bueno, my friend, no bueno. We'll have Accelerate running around at different grocery stores stealing shit.
That original Star Trek show has got the best fucking props of all time. It's like, you look at it. I was watching the episode where Spock jams with this like hippie band, and the girl's playing a bicycle wheel. And yeah, I don't know, just it's better television.
Oh, I should have made more coffee.
Can't run out of coffee on Cawffee Tawk.
Right?
You just gotta go down to the corner store, Eric, and you gotta get yourself a nice white Monster.
Is that one of them energy drinks? Is that what you're talking about? Monster energy drinks?
Yeah, brother. You gotta go to Agartha.
Oh, I've never drank any of those things.
Yeah, dude, I'm too old for those. Like you when you're older and you drink one of those like real amped up thing. I don't know how these kids are fucked, dude. It's like you feel it, like you feel like pressure behind your eyes and stuff. Like it's so loaded with caffeine and whatever else. I don't know what any of those other things do. Like what's in them? Taurine.
It's carbonated poison. That's the way I look at it. I mean, soda,
So
regular soda by itself is poison, and
yes.
and you just start adding more poison to it. It never was appealing to me.
So it's even worse. A lot of those Monster energy drinks, Red Bulls, NOS, all those energy drinks, right? The taurine you're talking about, it's the inner lining of a bull's stomach. So like it's literally I don't know how to describe it, but uh, it's extreme. I know it's extremely acidic and it's terribly what's it called? Like fast acting on your gut as well. Like it completely eats away shit.
Yeah, we don't need that. I'm just looking up what it is. It says that it's a naturally occurring organic compound found in bile, which, um,
It's the inner lining of a bull's stomach. Just look, keep looking. You'll find taurine, what it really comes from, and you'll be like, ugh.
Sounds delicious.
it's present in breast milk.
Yeah, RIP all those bulls, yo.
So what happens to somebody like Eric Herrera? He gets like scared and intimidated out of continuing to talk.
Mike Herrera, you talking about?
Did I say Mike? Yeah, Mike Herrera.
I don't think he got scared or intimidated out of talking. I think he just realized he had aligned with the wrong side and couldn't really make a corrective course change. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, Herrera, I've not talked with. Batista, I've talked with, and I like him.
With who?
Mike Batista, I like him. He's good.
Look him up. Well, that's somebody that in first glance here says that he can summon UAPs. Like to me, that falls into the Skywatcher psyop.
Yep.
Yeah, Skywatch has been MIA for a minute, hasn't they?
Yeah, mission failed. Done. Lost
100%.
their funding.
He's like a remote viewer dude, right? A psionics.
He's none of those things. He's just wielding the words.
Sure.
I mean, I could go surf the internet, get a whole new vocabulary, and claim association to those topics. It doesn't mean it's legit. That's all these guys are doing. They're
At least he's not an asshole about it,
Who?
Batista's not. He's not an asshole about it. At least.
Well, I don't think any of these guys are technically presenting as assholes. I mean, that's like asset development 101 is to go around and act cool and friendly to everyone. You're not supposed to go into a room and kick people in the shins. You less likely to gain friends. So the whole concept of being the cool guy and agreeable and smiley and everybody speaks, oh, he's such a nice guy. Like that's just fucking.
It's not really worth anything.
Right.
But, it's just that.
Yeah. That's why I don't engage in being fake like that. I mean, I think Batista's full of fucking shit too. He's been reporting like low Earth orbit satellites and claiming they're orbs, is my understanding.
Yeah, I've had enough of that nonsense. And the Bledsoe's same thing. I found Herrera to be it still is. I just have a feeling, and when I listen to him, I'm like, yeah, he did do this, and he saw this, and I believe it. Yeah, and all those other guys like piled in with the language and more woo and make them, and it nullifies his story, right?
It's not that it nullifies his
Not
story.
nullified, but
It's just that most people won't do the due diligence to go back and look at his original untainted testimony.
yeah, right.
From June of 23, when he gave his experience, that's his story. Then the story changed when Barber got his hooks into him, and then that's the story that most people are familiar with, is the modified story. You know, where they talk about, you know, human trafficking and stuff like that. That was all suggested to Herrera as to what was going on, but that's not Herrera's experience. That's somebody inserting ideas into his story. Mike never saw anybody getting trafficked. He stated originally he has no idea of the activity he observed. He saw a ship and he saw some sort of fucking covert ops team. That's what he saw. He had no fucking clue what they were up to. And then Barber showed up and suggested what the activity was, and Herrera ran with it.
He did. I didn't hear him run with that stuff. I haven't heard him touch on those things. I only heard him. He was on multiple podcasts that I saw. One in which they created a model of the ship that he claimed to see, and he was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like," and they were loading kids onto it.
Well, there you go. I don't know how you didn't catch the contradiction right there.
Is it the kids part?
Yeah, the human trafficking. That's what I just said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He never saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Gary McKinnon's story, it's, you know, he was being federally prosecuted for breaking into NASA. That's true, but that doesn't, you know, the reasons why he did it don't fucking matter whatsoever. He did it because he's looking for UFO shit, and then comes out with some vile stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter why he was doing it. It doesn't equal that the reason he's doing it. It does not equal what the stuff he's getting is.
I'm not following what you're getting at.
Yeah, so, you know, his claims are he hacked Goddard because of he was looking for UFO stuff. It doesn't mean anything. Like, you know, I can make say the purpose of me hacking this was for whatever reason, and if I get anything that looks interesting, I could produce that, and it would be part of the case. And it actually doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what my intentions are when I'm doing it. You know, it's not necessarily you're finding UFO shit because you're trying to.
I'm not following. I'm not following what you're getting at here.
I believe what Parr is saying is it's like correlation doesn't equal causation.
Right, and you know, it's everybody, you know, he's misinterpreting what he did, and everyone else is misinterpreting what he did, and it's just because he caught a federal case.
Maybe clarify what's the misinterpretation?
That he thinks he got UFO files at all, because those are just lists of, you know, like people that work there. They're non-terrestrial scientists, and their specialty is non-terrestrial science, and they're in that list.
If I remember correctly, they were referred to as non-terrestrial officers, and on the list,
they're scientists.
No, that's not what the list said, though, right?
No, it is in the list. You got to scroll all the way to the right and see what their specialties are.
And what was with the off-world non-terrestrial ship titles?
I don't know about the ships. The ships could be
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
Like
getting. Like, you can't just like negate one detail.
Well, I mean, just
these are like important details
ships,
to avoid.
They're always thinking up fucking names of shit all the time. So that might have been a scrap file of somebody, so, you know, just a spreadsheet somebody had fucking laying around where they were making notes to try to think up names.
That would, I mean, that's a suggestion for sure, but then that would have to be confirmed. I mean, the fact of the matter is he came out with a spreadsheet that listed non-terrestrial vehicles and their respective captains. I mean, I'm not following what the.
It would not be on the normal network. It would be on the classified network only because they have a separate secret network.
That could be how it's supposed to go down, but things get misfiled
right,
all the time. I mean,
stretch.
The MK, it's not much of a stretch. It's not much of a stretch at all. When we look at all the MK Ultra files that were destroyed, right? Because somebody wanted them destroyed. Some files were located years later because they were in the wrong spot. That happens all the fucking time. Totally not a stretch.
Yeah, that's classified stuff though.
And was still misfiled.
Right.
So misfiling happens all the time. Makes total fucking sense. This is kind of one of the things that hackers probably try to take advantage of, is getting into non-classified stuff to backdoor into other
FBU.
things. Right. So it seems
sensitive but unclassified. We try to get that because if you get enough of those, you can put stuff together from the big picture.
Yeah, it sounds to me like Gary McKinnon was a hacker doing standard hacker stuff and then reaped the benefit of hacking, which was getting stuff that they didn't expect to get out. That's super simple. And then at face value, it is what it is. And somebody can claim that it's something else, potentially, because maybe this and maybe that. This is like when, I mean, you can speculate till the cows come home that it's something different than what it is. And I can speculate that tonight I'm going to see a unicorn fly over my house. I mean, Eric, Gary McKinnon, they were pressing charges on him for a reason. If what you were saying was true, I don't think they would have tried pressing charges.
They're going to try to press charges because it's a federal case, and it's against our. We have the like a national federal law about it, so they always globally prosecute those cases.
So, Eric, can I put you in the camp of there are non-terrestrial officers operating?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Glad to check that one off the list.
Yeah, lest we forget that Ben Rich said that anything that to Jim Goodall, anything that you could think of, we've already done. We have the ability to bring ET home. So, corroborating statements or situations to support the Gary McKinnon off-world fleet list.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tend to agree with Eric on this, but I also agree with Parcheesi when he says that, like, there could be other reasons for, like, what the spreadsheet is doing and
those right? Like, the science involved, those are real science. I think I'm
firmly on the side of there being actual off-world officers, but on the statement, right, like that is something that exists. The way I look at it, right, is that kind of brings me back to the very OG theory that everyone knows.
They always exist here. They have to for NASA.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my statement. So the OG theory that like our government has been in cahoots with like an outside force that is acting upon civilization as a whole, using America as like a queen piece, right, or something like that in chess, right? Like it would make sense to me in that case that the onus is on the outside force rather than USG proper or outside contractors, even. Because they would be under the influence of whatever it is that gave them the ideas for said mind control manipulation programs. Now, that being said, not to blackpill everyone, I do think that there is a very effective way to deal with said programming. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of the hidden technologies that Eric is referencing. A lot of this is being used to enforce the agenda rather than free, what we would call like free energy for the rest of society, right? It's more being used for selfish gains in this direction of things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, classified science does exist. The NSA has been classifying physics for decades. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, which again supports the idea that there's a high probability of off-world fleet activities. Classified science. To what extent? I would just go so far as to say that, you know, when we start finding evidence of off-world fleets, that we probably shouldn't try to suggest without any evidence that it's anything other than as received at face value.
Yeah, just state it exactly how it came, right? Don't change any facts about how it, don't try to manipulate the narrative around it. Just exactly state exactly what the ledger says.
Yeah, the
hacker hacks computer. Hacker finds list of off-world fleets and respective captains. Other hacker claims it's something else.
Well, I mean, you just have to know that NASA requires that kind of science and those kind of people to work here on planet Earth.
So what? That doesn't change anything. That means that has no bearing on it at all. You're going to try to tell me that because of a science existing that a secret aspect can't? That's shenanigans. I worked for the United States Antarctic Program under the umbrella of the National Science Foundation. I'm blowing the whistle on the fact that science is being used as a cover story for high-level tech. Par, what are you talking about?
No, I mean, I know that, science is some clients.
Science is the cover op for classified shit.
Right. In this case, yes.
In almost every case of high-level technology, they'll pretend that it has to do with science, and then that's how they cover it up.
Sure. I agree.
There you go. So I don't want to hear that the captains of the ships were just simply scientists. You got to understand, there's science. Come on, Par.
Okay. Well,
no, the officers, if you read that, scroll all the way to the right, you'll see what their terrestrial science is.
Where this leaves the general population at who is paying attention to the subject is it leaves them with a sense of, oh, fuck, there's nothing I can do, because if they have this technology, they can certainly overpower me, right, as an individual. And then they also believe, the general population is going to go, oh my gosh, we better hope that this outside force using mind control is doing it for a good purpose, because otherwise we're cooked. And it leaves the general population in the dark, number one, on the technologies, but number two, it leaves everyone with a impending sense of dread, which is what you don't want if you're trying to correct a situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, we know they have funding for directed energy weapons. We've got the budget line even, and line number and everything, and the amount.
That's what they're admitting to.
Exactly.
Lest anybody wants to believe that it just started happening now that there's a line item for the NDAA 2026. So I guess it just started now, since there was never a line item before. So it must be new.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Be under
concerning
blacklist
on multiple
before.
levels. I guess what I would just say is
Yeah, we're lucky it got out and
the
is a
best
line
thing you
item.
can do is the best thing you can do is protect your own, right? That's the way I look at it in my life. I'm like, I'm just protecting my family. I'm chilling, I'm keeping people, around me in my circle that are, loyal and safe people, and just trying to degrade the outside influence on my social media page. But it's kind of it is a losing battle at this point. So I pretty much only
Yeah,
do
just don't get
spaces
exposed to
now,
AHI.
and I don't even do spaces that much. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I've been kind of AFK from spaces as well. I've just been busy in general. I got so much shit to do.
That's good. The real world is better than the digi world.
Well, yeah, and that speaks to the idea of be a large tree in the area in which you reside, right? Like have your roots deep, and also like a large tree protects others around it, right? It provides homes for the squirrels and the various varmints and creatures that run around, right? The idea is to grow your social net the same way.
I can follow that. That makes sense. Be the large tree. I've seen some pretty big ass banyan trees where the local lore was how many people lived under its branches, that they were like homes back in the day.
Yeah, those are big trees, man.
Yeah, I got some massive oaks out back that I gotta probably take care of. That'll get taken care of. They're pretty much aging out at this point, so we'll get some people in to take care of them. But they've stood there for a long time.
Get some firewood out of them, put them to use. Chop them suckers up. Have a big old keg party and do a downing of the tree. Do it Action Park style, freaking ropes, chainsaws, kegs of beer, pandemonium.
Yeah, it gets serious when they break out the cornhole boards.
Did you ever see the videos back in the day of Steve, the narcoleptic tree trimmer?
No, what?
This this dude had narcolepsy, but he would be trimming trees. He'd be up in the tree with a chainsaw, ripping at the trees, and then all of a sudden he'd like pass out, and you see like the chainsaw just go falling down on the rope. Like it's wild. Steve, the narcoleptic tree trimmer.
What a gangster. I love that. That's fucking awesome. What up, Vu? I see you down there. What's up,
That
Miss
sounds like
Anthro?
almost like as good an idea as Action
Hold
Talk.
on, Hermetic.
Actually. Narcoleptic tree trimmer, dude. I gotta go. Great talking to you guys.
Have a good day.
See you guys.
Watch out for chainsaws.
See ya.
Don't be like Steve. Stay awake when your chainsaw is running. Oh, man. Ugh.
Time for some more coffee.
Right?
Back in the 80s, there were hackers in Texas that they kept talking about an Air Force computer that had UFO files on it. but I'm probably, it should. It's probably fucking Doty. That's why I don't even bother trying to look back.
All right. Well, I will leave you guys to discussion. I am headed out, so enjoy the rest of your evening. Eric, it's been a wonderful chat. Don't get caught at the Guantanamo Bay slide anytime soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Take it easy.
Absolutely, sir. Enjoy your wage
Have a good day,
slavery.
Kyle. Have a good day. Relax when you can.
Yeah, it's actually slightly warmer here today than it has been. We're at like I think like 20 degrees outside, which like now feels warm compared to minus 15, so it's nice. Toasty. Ugh. Ugh. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a heat wave here compared to 35 out, but it's raining.
Oh, rain. That's warm. Oh. Yeah, I made a run to the store yesterday to pick up some stuff, and the roads were slick. Saw some people sliding all over the place in like.
You get that black ice out there?
Now we have glaciers on the roads right now. It's packed. They don't plow here like you would think they would. It like compresses. Once the snow falls, it just keeps accumulating and accumulating, and it just becomes like a packed ice sheet. And then when it gets really cold out, it's pretty slick. I saw a freaking full blown like fuel truck yesterday, like a home heating oil delivery truck. I mean, fuck, the dude was spinning his it was, rear wheel drive dually, and this guy was fucking roasting the tires. I was like, that's great. I never seen that before. Now I know it's slick out.
Yo, you know what somebody did to me in South Florida? I was driving a yellow Kia, so maybe I deserved it, but they did what's called rolling coal. You know what that is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They like completely enveloped the car I was driving in like black smoke.
Oh, those bastards.
Dude, who invests money in that?
I don't know. That's some redneck stuff. I hope your windows were up.
Yeah, we put them up. I didn't even know what's going on because I don't unfortunately for me, I'm poorly equipped to I couldn't, it took me like days to, I'm like, wait, okay. So like this guy sees me as like some like ordinary chump and, wants to, I don't know. I still can't even.
Oh, it might not even have had anything to do with you. You could have just been the closest thing around when they just felt like doing it to anybody.
When his buddy just like helped him install his new. Yeah, I mean, it's just so asinine. Like, what a fucking, like, what are the motives?
Yeah, I mean, geez, the amount of bullshit that I got involved with when I was a kid, the motive was just simply to be a derelict. It wasn't personal against anybody or property. It was just fucking around.
What about, you ever hear anybody on Long Island with there was a thing I learned about, I think, first on the Howard Stern show. It was like this company that was marketing real train horns to people. So you could like retrofit a fucking train horn into your car and just
I remember people doing that.
Dude, when you hear one of those go off, it's like you jump out of your body.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, it's funny. I get the humor in it, but it's like, and I remember reading product reviews and somebody was like, this is the best. Like, I blast these pricks out here on the LIE. And it's funny as hell, but it's like, spending money on stuff like that. You gotta have your head examined.
I had a car at one point that, I mean, like, I could drive it around and I could be quiet if I wanted to, like very, normal. But if I wanted to hammer down, the car was like as loud as a fucking NASCAR. Like,
What car?
what's that?
What car?
It was a '94 Camaro that was fucking wildly fast. I invested a lot into that car, but the exhaust on it, like if I wanted, like I could you know, I could be cruising, and then if I just did like a nice really hard downshift, the fucking rage that would come out of the exhaust on that car would scare the shit out of people. Like full
I
blown.
remember the Buick Regal. Then they had the model that was like the Grand National. Remember that car?
Yep, absolutely. I used to race those
That was
things.
a cool car.
Uh-huh.
It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, but like then they blacked it out, and it was like, oh, they get it, right?
Yeah.
It was like that's when car companies like started to kind of
turbocharged 6 cylinders in those things. If I remember correctly, they were pretty quick. My thing was racing against Mustangs and Firebirds. Those were my target vehicles.
They did the 5-liter Mustangs, like early '80s, were pretty insane. The ones with all the like new ground effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like just, and those cars made a fuck of a lot of noise, like the right sounds. And then after that, it became like, I remember somebody else got a Mustang, and it was like, wait, that's a Mustang now? And it like had the logo. It looked cool, but it was like the worst possible Mustang, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they dumped us.
The '80s
around that.
The '80s Mustangs were a nice looking car. I like a couple of my friends had Mustangs, and you know, it's all good. But yeah, I was a Camaro dude. I loved fucking slaughtering Mustangs.
My friend had a T-top T-Bird, Thunderbird, without the bird. Like, but it broke down early on. We only took it to like one concert, but that was a fucking amazing, like fun car, right? With no tops in, with the glass parts out.
Yep, I had T-tops on my '94. Actually, I had
Smokey and the Bandit.
I had an '87 with T-tops also. I had an '87 IROC that had T-tops. I'm trying to think. So my '87 blue one had T-tops. I also had an '87 red one at one point, but that one didn't have the T-tops. But the
Those
94
cars are
did.
just overloaded with character compared to, like, you know, you pull into a parking lot now, it's like everybody has the same fucking SUV with a different brand on it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw at a car accident at a straight road in South Florida with 3 minivans. They'd all, like, you know, like chain reacted, like just the dumbest type of car accident you can get in. And yeah, driving's not what it used to be back then either. There's too many cars now.
Yeah, I'm in Anchorage now, so it doesn't seem like as many cars as when I grew up. Going from Long Island to here was a lessening volume of traffic.
Yeah, that's different. You're allowed to drink and drive up there, right?
No. Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But I think the cops would give you a pass if it was just Bailey's in your coffee. They're like, oh, yeah, that's normal.
They're like checking out your guns, right?
I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, technically here you're not very likely to get involved in a situation with the police because they have a very limited amount of police, but it's kind of like a joke up here that if you do get involved with the cops, it's kind of like a shoot first, ask questions later situation.
All right, now I do have to drop down, but I'm going to listen still.
Oh,
Have a
you
great
got
day. Great Action Park conversation, dude.
Yeah.
That place legendary.
Total fun. I think I'm actually going to probably pack it in too. I'm getting hungry early today. So yeah, absolutely. Have a great day, Mooks.
Yeah, and you know, I don't have the forensics from that, so I don't know for sure about that file and verifying everything about it. So
Yeah, I mean,
saying.
I don't even think it needs any forensics or any of that stuff. I mean, it's public. It's open to scrutiny and observation.
It would be better to have, the government's forensic analysis.
I don't typically give a flying fuck what the government says about anything. I usually put that in the category sounds like bullshit to me if the government's saying it.
Right. Well, that's evidence, so it would have to be legit for court.
He's not going to court.
Exactly.
Right. It's now open to the court of public opinion. It's public.
Right. So it's just anyone's interpretation, and I welcome everyone to believe everything they want.
Yeah, I mean, it again, like I'm not sure the angle that you're going on with it. It just seems like you're trying to discount what's been known for decades to be painted in one particular light for good reason, but going contrary without any other reason than just a suggestion.
I mean, we can go to their FTP server and dig around now and see if there's anything there.
I couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's I wield 2-foot wrenches. That wouldn't get me access.
But with so many things, and if everyone chooses to grab pieces from the community everywhere, to make an overall picture, I'd rather have it be something we could verify 100%.
Understood. That seems to be the problem with most people in the community, is attaching themselves to bullshit artists that can't verify anything. Like Batista. I mean, not for nothing. If the dude's saying that he can fucking call shit down, what the fuck's he waiting for? Sounds like a bullshit story to me.
Yeah, I hear you.
What's the fucking holdup? All these guys, they're all fucking Fed shills. They're all part of, the military industrial corporation complex's effort to limit their proverbial asses from the liability for the activities they've been engaged in for decades.
Right. If they're making money, they are for sure. Right.
Who's the they that you're talking about?
The aforementioned folks who, are employed or getting paid by the government.
Oh, you mean like Barber, Batista, Grush?
Exactly.
They're getting paid by someone. It could be Raytheon. It could be Lockheed. It could be, it could be a whole bunch of things. But effectively, just looking at the playing field and realizing who's playing the game towards the same end, it doesn't take long before you realize that there's team activity going on.
I mean, it's really disappointing about Rush.
I'm more disappointed that people believed his bullshit for this long. I'm not disappointed in Grush. I'm disappointed in the people that didn't have the discernment to realize the value, or better yet, the lack thereof, to the bullshit he's been spewing.
I feel like the government has been let down in this whole investigation. So, we don't get to know the truth partly because of that.
You're saying that the government has been let down?
For whatever reason, because they're unable to get the real people because of these people being involved.
They're coordinating, spotlighting, and pedestaling the wrong people. They're in on it. The government's the one that's letting us down by acting like they're trying to get to the truth when they're doing the entire opposite by coordinating the deception.
Yeah, it's just counterintelligence theater is all the whole fucking thing is.
It's a fucking bullshit circus. Both sides are colluding, again, to the benefit of limiting the liability of the corporations that have been involved in the activity for decades.
And limiting the responsibility of government folks for their crimes, right?
That too. Yeah, this is just a smokescreen to Pied Piper people in the wrong direction once again. I mean, all they really have to do is, if the government, this is hilarious. It's just, yeah, I don't know how people keep falling for it. Nancy Mace is full of shit. Burleson is full of shit. So how can we believe that they're up on a panel working towards getting the truth from a whole bunch of other people that are full of shit?
And it's just a bunch of social media announcement stuff.
Yep. Speculations, unsubstantiated claims, no evidence, nobody testifying under oath, no one being arrested. That's, that's the point of all of this, is to just keep covering it up.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they were going to try to arrest whistleblowers, though, which fuck that, right? Yeah, we'll draw you out, and then we're going to arrest you. Fuck that.
Well, that's what Jake Barber did. So, yeah. But with that being said, I think I'm going to go grab some chow. So, everybody, have an excellent day. Fun chatting as
Good
always.
plan. Thank you for the space.
Yeah, you got it, Par. Hope you have a nice lucky weekend over in AC.
Yeah, I'll try to. I got a card, my card that I can directly load debit cash onto. I'll try to, some of the change from my transactions, I'll try to throw on there for you.
Ah, no worries, dude. Appreciate it. How was your filet last night?
Pretty good.
Nice. Excellent. Well, hit that deli today. All right, everybody. Have an